here at a park. Used to be a spa, sulfur springs, hotels, bathhouses. Now it's a bunch of baseball fields. They still have a horse track. It used to be horse racing out here back in the 1850s. But, you know, the farm fields are all full of corn. It's been hot lately. Got a nice temperate day today, so I figured I'd get out and see what happens in this park. I mean, I don't know if it's been, plowed over and filled dirt everywhere. Who knows? It could be full of gum wrappers and pull tabs and bottle caps. But that's what's exciting and interesting about metal detecting is you never know what you're going to find, and it's all about the excitement of the hunt. So if I get anything interesting, I'll turn the camera on and see what is underneath the dirt. Well, I'm at the former spa area, the springs, sulfur springs, where there were hotels, a billiard hall, a whole complex of things built up around these springs in the 1850s, and it's all been transformed over the years. So I decided to come out to the periphery of this park. I came across a mound here next to the woods, and started getting a lot of iron signals. So I tried to, swing real slow and try to pick out some mid to high tones, consistent, repeatable signals. And I get a 60, 58 to 60 on the AT Pro, and that was diggable. If it's a repeatable signal, you got to dig it. And so I dig down about 5 inches, and I found a button, believe it or not. It's an older button. It's not like, mid-19th century, but I didn't film the dig because, I'm out here and I'm not sure what I was going to find. But here is the button. And it does have some sort of design on the front. Looks like it's got a star. So I'll have to clean that up, and I'll show it later in the video. But it pays to explore and listen for those iron signals. Well, here's a repeatable signal, jumping around between 53 and 60. So I'm going to give that a shot. Well, I chased this one around pretty good. This was kind of a mess. My pinpointing was not as accurate as I was hoping it to be, and it might have been because of a square nail that was near what ended up being the predominant signal, the repeatable signal. And, it was sloppy, but it paid off because as I chased it down from here over to here, I finally pulled out the square nail, and then right near that was an old button with the shank intact. Oops. So just by walking the perimeter of this big old park and this baseball field and keeping the iron signals going, in the sense that I want to hear the iron, I came across this mound, and so far in the last half hour it's produced some old stuff. So, this could be an old home site here off in the woods. I'm not sure, but man, this was a pretty cool little mound here to stumble upon, and I'm going to keep on buzzing around here and poking through this dirt here because, this has got some potential here, unexpected. So, that's what's great about this hobby is you never know what you're going to come across if you just keep your eyes and ears open. a repeatable 55 to 60, kind of around 58, solid on all sides, all directions. I'm gonna give it a go. Could be a pull tab, shotgun shell. You never know, but I gotta go for it. I want to point out this is old dirt. I mean, you can tell that it's not like fill dirt. When you dig down in, it's pretty compact and dark, you know, so that's a good sign. You know, what this ended up being, it looks to me like this a rivet. That would have been part of like some sort of leather type thing, maybe for a saddle or some sort of horse tack thing, but still old. And yeah, it just confirms that this is definitely an old spot here, so glad I dug it. Solid 87, strong signal. I'm going to guess it's maybe a modern quarter because it sounds pretty close to the surface, but let me give it a go. And a modern quarter it was, 1989. About 4 inches down. Better than finding a gum wrapper. So the mound is right in the shadow here. It goes up, over, down. Up, down. Right there. So I'm thinking that might have been an old home site out in the woods, and this is sort of the back or front yard, who knows, but I'm getting a lot of signals out here. And it is old dirt. They must not have moved a lot of dirt when they built up this park, in this area anyways. So this has a lot of potential, but I just want to point out the landscape here of what caught my eye after I heard these iron signals. So I'm going to keep on exploring around here. Okay, solid 60, both ways, AT Pro. I'm going to go for a live dig. And we have another button. I think it's a match for the one I had before. Little star symbol on it, some letters, text. So let me clean it up and I'll see what it looks like. I can't make out the text, but hopefully you can see that star symbol right in the middle. And the back looks like this. Definite match for the first one that I found today, so very productive mound here, so I'm going to keep on going. Well, here's the first for me. I was digging a plug here and I see a worm has tied itself into a knot. I feel bad for it. I'm not quite sure how to undo it. Very strange. But I'm working on a signal here, so let's see if everything gets resolved. Well, I untied the worm safely. Not sure if he's alive. Yeah, there he goes. He's moving now. So I think I saved him, as long as he gets enough water. Well, here is the famous sulfur spring. You can see it bubbling out right there. And spilling out into this sulfur swamp. Not very pretty, but I guess back in the day, 160, 170 years ago, it was quite the resort area with fine hotels and restaurants and fine dressed people bathing in and drinking sulfur water. Well, here's my wrap up for the morning at the village park. It used to be a spring spa area with sulfur springs and hotels and billiard halls. It's all baseball fields and playgrounds now, but I stumbled upon what I think is an old home site on the edge of the park. And the clad quarters came from the park, but I got those 3 nice buttons right in the middle there, and what looks to be a rivet, an old square nail, an old gun shell, probably a .22, but it looks like it's brass, and an old shotgun shell. So I wasn't expecting much today. Never been here before, and it's a fairly new park, so just to find anything old is really a great thing when you don't expect anything to come out of the ground. So I was happy with today's hunt.